All right, hey everybody, welcome to Zenfolio Live. I'm Robert with Zenfolio Customer Support, and I just want to say thank you for joining us here on the live Q&A. If this is your first time joining us, please just say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're from. If you've got any questions too, just throw those out in the chat so we can go ahead and get those answered live for you today. Now, before I go into taking questions, taking email questions and things like that, one of the things that I wanted to talk about and go over today is creating packages and using the packages feature. So if you haven't played around with the packages feature yet, it's in your account right here. You just go up to selling right here and then click on packages down here. Now, there's some cool things that you can do with packages. Excuse me, if you're like a fine art photographer or something like that, and maybe you want to sell a specific print, in a certain frame, you can actually set that up as a package. So you can have pre-configured products with frames and stuff like that and have it set up as a package. And that will also show in QuickShop. And then instead of your client having to go through and pick a frame and things like that, it's all set up for them and all they have to do is purchase that. So let me show you how to do that really quick. So if you go up right here and we just click add new package right here. Probably what you want to do is give it a name so that people know kind of what it is. So for this one, I'm going to say a 8x10 print, and then maybe go black frame like this right here. And then hit enter. And then what I'm going to do here is leave the currency set to be US right here. And then we want one photo for all products in this package because it's just going to be a print and then a frame here. So next thing what we're going to do is go add products right here. And then by default, usually when you click that add products button, you're going to see the all vendors products right here, which means that what you're looking at is you're looking at products from all of our integrated vendors. Now, usually, as you guys know, what I usually recommend doing is switching that over to a specific vendor view. So if I click on this right here, that's going to switch over and we can actually go and pick and choose a specific vendor. That way we don't have to spend a lot of time looking through other products and things like that. So for this case, I'm just going to go with MPix right here. And then let's just go right here and choose a print. So we said 8x10, so we're going to go right here, 8x10 standard print. Hit add selected right here. That's going to add that print to the package. And then one of the things you might want to look at is the color correction here. If you're doing a lot of volume work, putting up your images a lot of times right out of camera and stuff like that, usually what I do anyway is I'll go ahead and set this to apply color correction. However, if you're like a fine art photographer or something like that, and you've done a lot of posts or you've worked on this image in Photoshop or whatever, you probably want to set up the do not enhance. So anyway, after you get that set up right there, you can even come down here and offer this on a specific paper type. So let's say this is maybe just a landscape photo and I want to offer it only in Kodak Metallic. Now what we're going to do next is set up the framing option. So we're going to go right here and you can say, okay, add frame and mount. So you can do that right here. And then what you can do is say, okay, do you want to give it a luster coating? Let's go ahead and put that on. And then let's go ahead and add a frame to it. So we're just going to go down here and there should be a black frame down here somewhere. Where is it at? Right here. So black metal frame right here. I'm just going to go ahead and choose that one. And then if you want to, you can also add matte to this, and then you can choose the glass option as well. So let's do black matte right here like this. And then maybe some of that non-glare glass. So these are all options that normally your clients, when they're checking out, would have to go through and pick and choose and all that stuff. The cool thing about doing this in packages is that you can set all this up so that all your client has to do is add this product to their cart, and then all those configurations are already made for them. So we're going to set that non-glare glass right there and just click apply. And all that's going to be set up. The other thing you might want to do too is set up the cropping and the color conversion. So I definitely don't want to allow any color conversion to go on with this photo. So I just want it to be, I just want it to be whatever I uploaded it as. If you're not familiar with what color conversion is, this is what allows your clients to choose like black and white or sepia tone or something like that for the images. And this is really just a personal preference for me. But you know, if I wanted the image to be black and white or sepia tone, I would have uploaded it that way. So it's just a personal preference for me. It doesn't affect the cost. It doesn't mess up with the shipping or anything like that. Again, just the personal preference. So I'm going to choose none. And then for the cropping, this depends. I mean, you can allow your customers to adjust cropping if you want. Most of the time, I've got my price list built around the native aspect ratio of my camera. So usually what I do is I just choose fit because I know that my images are going to fit the products that I'm offering because they match my camera's native aspect ratio. In this case, I'm using an 8x10, and that's not really the case. I'm just using that size for demonstration purposes. But on my account, normally when I build a price list out, I build it to match my camera's aspect ratio, so there's never any cropping issues and things like that. All right, so now we're going to hit apply. And so those are 3 more options that your clients don't have to go in and try to configure and mess with. And it's just going to make a smoother checkout process for them. Okay, going down here next, this is where you're down here on the bottom, you're going to set up your selling price down here. So we're just going to go right here. And let's just say this is a special edition print or something like that that we want to do. We're going to do $100 on that and hit next. That's going to save that package. Then it's going to take you over to the category and description section. So here, if you want to give it another category, maybe this time, you know, normally I suggest just leaving the packages in the package category. If you wanted, you could switch this around to be in print, since technically it's just a print that's framed. If you wanted to do that, you could. You could also give it a description right here so that your clients have a better idea of how this is set up and things like that. And once you're finished here, you can add some placeholder images if you want. Then we're just going to hit next, and that's going to save that package, and then you're done. We still have to add this package to a price list, but before we do that, let me just show you one more thing that you can do with packages. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the packages. So we're going to go back to all packages right here. And then what you can do is go add new package right here. And let's say maybe you want to create a package to where your clients get some free downloads, maybe like a free digital download if they purchase, you know, an 8x10 print or something like that. You can set up a package to actually do that for you, and this is how you would do that. So what I'm going to do right here is just write, let's just say 8x10 print with free digital. All right, so I'm going to put that there. And again, I really recommend being descriptive with the title that you give your package, because this is how it's going to appear in your price list. So if you just write something like package A, package B, bronze package, platinum package, or something like that, that's all that's going to show in the price list. And your client's going to look at that and be like, okay, I know that's a package, but you know, what's in that package? So that's why I really like to put that description up in the title there. So again, what we're going to do is just make this one photo for all products in the package. And then we're going to go down here and hit add products right here like this. And so what we're going to do first is add that 8x10 print. So let me go grab that 8x10 standard print right there. And then next, what we're going to do is we're going to add that free digital. So I'm pretty sure that I've got some digital products here created in my account. So what we're going to do is go add product again right here. Now this time I'm going to be switching out from MPix Lab to using my studio name, because if you've created digital products before, you know that that's where it shows up. So it actually shows up in your studio name. So if you go up here to the top where it says show vendor and you click on that, then what you want to do is go down here and choose Black Onyx Photography, and then yours is definitely going to say something different. You want to choose your studio name, and then you're going to want to click on that downloads product category right here. If you're not familiar with digital downloads and how to sell them and how to create digital download products, there's a really great video tutorial on our YouTube channel. It's called Selling Digital Products that you can view, and that will help you with the process of creating those digital products, setting them up, adding them to price list, and selling them and things like that. So it's definitely worth checking out that video tutorial if you're not familiar with how the digital product setup works. All right, so next what we're going to do is we're just going to choose that single image download right here, and we are going to add that to the selected product to the package. So we're going to add that right there. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go down here, and it's going to say 8x10. And again, you know, you can mess with the color correction up here. Change that color conversion to whatever you want. And these, like I said, these are all personal preferences. For me, the way I set them up. If you want to frame and mount it again, you can do that. That's the great thing about a package, being able to set up that framing and mounting and stuff like that. Then what we're going to do down here is that single image download. And so all you need to do is you need to set the price for the 8x10, or this is actually probably going to be the price for the full package, because as you can see, it's got this separated out into two sections. So if I scroll back up really quick, here is the 8x10 print, and here's the selling price for that. So we want to make that the price of the package. So the selling price is going to be $20 for the 8x10, and then we're giving that download for free. So we're going to leave that selling price to be 0, so that download is free once somebody purchases the package. All right, now we're going to hit next right here. And what that's going to do is bring us again to the category page and the description page. And you can change the category if you want. In this case, I would probably leave this particular one in the packages category because we set it up with a print and a digital download. For the description, if you want to throw some information in there, that's fine. And then let me go down here to the bottom and hit next. And now that package has been saved, and we can go back and review all the packages. So these are different packages that I created. If you've just recently opened up a Zenfolio account, you can probably go to packages if you haven't messed with packages before, and there should be like a bronze, a silver, and a platinum package in there. And those are just pre-populated, created ones, just to kind of give you an idea of how to use the package feature. Excuse me, let me grab some water really quick. So anyway, like I said, those are just set up to kind of show you how you can use the package feature. You can definitely go in and alter them, change them, you can delete them, do whatever you want. But once you get to this point where you've got your packages created, you still need to add these to a price list before people can go in and purchase them. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to selling right here, go to price list, and then just choose the price list that you want to assign these to. So for this case, let's just say that I want to put them on my engagements price list. I'm going to click there. That's going to pull up the engagements price list, and then we can go add products right here. And then right there, you should see a packages category. If you don't, if you're on the all vendors view and you don't see a packages category, you can try clicking and switching down to your studio name. But it should appear on the all vendors category as well. So we're just going to click on that right there. Here's that 8x10 print with free digital. And here's that 8x10 black frame. So I'm going to click on that one right here. And then hit add selected products like that. Now those packages are added to the price list. And I just hit save, and then as long as this price list is assigned to the right galleries and stuff like that, from this point on we should be good to go, and those price lists will be, or I'm sorry, those packages will be out there and available to our clients. Alright, let me go back to my dashboard here really quick, and let me just go ahead and grab an email question that we have really quick here. So the next question I've got here from email is, this person says, my galleries are listed under the art, and I want to change the order. For example, Bears of Alaska appears before abstractions and patterns. How do I change the order of how these galleries are currently listed? So, without being able to go in and look at your account, there's a couple of things that this could be. So I'm not exactly sure if this is the way that they're ordered in your site menu, as far as like maybe you have a drop-down menu and you want to change the order the way that those appear there. Or maybe you've got a group, and in that group you've got some galleries inside of there, and you want to change the order of those galleries. So without being able to see that specific information, I'm just going to tell you how to solve both of those problems, and then hopefully one of the two was the issue, and you'll be able to get that straightened out. So first, let's go ahead and talk about the organization on the back end and how your galleries, what order they appear in your client if they're looking at a group. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here to Photos. And then what I'm going to do is just find a group right here. So let's say, for instance, this group right here. Let me see what else is in this. Oh, let's go to a better one. Maybe the portfolio group inside of it. So let's say, for instance, right here, this portfolio group is what you are calling the art. And you've got a link to this group from your website. So when somebody clicks on the art, it goes to this group, and then inside of there, they see these galleries, and you're just kind of wanting to change the order that they appear. You can actually do that on the back end, and that will reflect on your website. So if you want a specific gallery to show in a certain order, you just kind of organize them here. So what I've done is I've clicked on this portfolio group right here. And what we're going to do is just drag these galleries into the order that you want them to appear. And then if you're linked to that group from your website, that's going to reflect there as well. So what I'm going to do is click on here. And let's say we want portraits to come first, and then maybe weddings after engagements. So maybe portraits, weddings, engagements, and landscape. Maybe that's the order we want these galleries to appear to our clients. So all we need to do is drag and drop them in the order on the back end here. And if we're linked to that group, it's going to reflect like that on the website. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and hover over my Zenfolio. And we're gonna go to Customize View for the website. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about, how that works. All right, so we are in Customize View for the website, and my website is looking, well, this website is looking rather terrible because I'm always making changes to it and stuff like that. So it's looking rather terrible right now. But what I was talking about here is if I go right here to New, and I type in Portfolio, and I hit Enter, and then I link it to that group. If I go 2016 portfolio, I link it directly to that group, and I click Update. Now if I click on this portfolio group right here, it's going to take me to the group page, and you're going to see those galleries. So there is portraits, there's engagements, there's weddings, and then last is landscapes right here. So that is how you would take those and you would get those into the order that you want them to appear, is you just do it on the back end. So again, let me show you really quick. I'll just change those up. Let me get my head out of the way here so you guys can see everything there. All right, so I'm going to go back to the dashboard one more time. And then what we're going to do is let's go ahead and put landscapes in front this time. So we're clicked on that portfolio group, and we're moving landscapes ahead, and then let's put portraits at the very end, just so it's a real obvious change. So now if I go to Customize Website, now when I click on that portfolio group right here, now you're going to see the orders changed to landscapes in front and portraits in the back there. Now, if you've already got your website published and you're already linking to this group, then you don't have to come back in here and publish it if you just move the organization around on the back end, on the dashboard or the photos page. So if you've already got your website published and you want to change that order, you can just change it on the photos page like I just did, and then you don't have to go into Customize View and publish. That will automatically reflect for you. The only time you ever have to publish your site is when you actually come into Customize View and make a change there. So now let's go talk about the second thing that this could possibly be. This could just possibly be the organization of your drop-down menu. So if you see right here, I've got a drop-down menu, and if I hover over this menu right here, you can see right here it says landscapes and portraits, and we can add some more things to that really quick, so there's more stuff in here to kind of change and organize. So let me just go here and let me add one more thing, and I'm going to call it weddings. So I'm going to add that, and I'm going to link to that wedding gallery really quick. So if I go to 2016 portfolio and then link to the wedding gallery, I'm going to hit select, and I'm going to update that. And so now if after this refreshes, if I drop this drop down menu down, now there's portrait or landscapes, portraits, and weddings. Now if that's what you're wanting to reorganize, you can really just do that in the site menu over here. So if I drop this down, what I can do is I can come over to the little domino looking things right here, and I can actually grab them and drag them in whatever order I want them to appear, and then reload the preview, and you'll be able to see that that order is going to reflect when I hit the drop down menu. So now weddings, portraits, landscapes. Now if you make changes like that, you will need to publish those changes, because again, we're in customized view and we've made some changes here. So in order for those to go live, you need to publish those changes. Now, while we're here and we're talking about the drop-down menu, something that's really cool about the drop-down menu is you can actually drag and drop menu items to it. So if you've already been working on your site menu a little bit, and maybe you've got some galleries up there and you're like, you know, that's too many menu items on my site menu. Let me throw these in a drop-down menu. What you can do is, if you've got one created, like this right here, you can actually just drag a menu item right into that drop-down menu. So if I reload the preview now we're going to see that client access has gone from being on my menu up here to now being in my drop-down menu. And you can also drag those things back out too if you want. So if I want to drag it back out like this and just put it somewhere here on its own, I can do that, and I don't have to go through the process of deleting the menu item and then creating a new one. So that's definitely something that you can do there on the site menu as well. So hopefully one of those two options answered your question about the Bears of Alaska, how it appears before the abstracts and patterns. It's either probably the way that it's organized on the back end, or if it's on your site menu, you just need to adjust the order there. So hopefully that helps. And definitely if you still got questions, please feel free to reach out to us. You can reach out to the support team at zenfolio.com/contact. And then just in the subject line, you can say YouTube live question, or you can just, say help with my site menu or whatever you want to put in there. But we'd definitely be happy to work with you more on that and make sure that we've got that cleared up for you. Okay, let me get back to my dashboard really quick right here, and I'm going to take another email question here. Okay, so my next email question here says, so these are questions from the tutorial request link. So in the description of all of the live Q&A sessions, a few weeks back, I put a link to where you can request video tutorials to be made. And since then, I've got several requests that have came through. And while they're great questions, some of them I can just answer here, and hopefully that will help you out. But now I've also added a new link down there. So if you're watching the recorded version of this and you are able to attend the live Q&A, but you want your questions answered, there's actually another link down there now that says questions for next week's live Q&A. So the reason I put that there is because I wanted to make it as easy as possible for you guys to submit questions for me to answer, and especially those of you who are watching the recordings of this because you're not able to attend the live stream for whatever reason. So that link is down there in the description of this video as well, and you can just click on that and submit a question, and I will answer that next week as well. Or you can continue just to email them by sending them to zenfolio.com/contact, and then just in the subject line put YouTube live question. All right, guys, if you're watching this and you've just tuned in, make sure that if you've got any questions you want answered, just throw those in the live chat so I can make sure I get those answered for you today. Otherwise, I'm going to continue on with the email questions that we've got. All right, so my next question, like I said, came from the tutorial request. It says, how can I collect client emails on location with a tablet? So there's a couple of ways that I could think of that you could do this. One thing you could do is you could create a custom page, and then you could use a third-party service like JotForm and actually create a custom form, asking for email address and all that stuff. And you could actually embed that into a custom page, and then you could use that custom page, have it pulled up, and have people, collect emails that way. The other thing that you could do too is if you're at a specific event, maybe you're shooting an event, a sporting event, and you want to collect emails there on the fly. What you could do, and probably what I would do actually, is I would probably set up the gallery and turn on turn on visitor sign in. And then what you can do is you can have people just enter their emails through that as well. So what you could do is if you had a gallery, let's just say this is the gallery here. And you could just go visitor sign in, have it displayed, and then you could have people pull up the link to that gallery and go through the visitor sign in process on the tablet if you wanted. So if we go right here, copy this link, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you what visitor sign in does really quick. So you can go right here and you can say display visitor sign in. And the cool thing is you can say send me an email if you want. Or you can say automatically update my contact list. If you expect to get a lot of people signing in through this, I would probably turn that visitor sign in email notification off, because you're not going to want to sit there and get a ton of emails, with people right there, you know, signing into it and all that stuff. But what you can do is just send out this link. So after we've got this set up, you can go to visitor messaging. You can put whatever message you want here. So you can just say, please enter your email address for registration. Something like that. And then you could even add some more text down here if you want. And then you go to sign in fields, put the name required, the email address required. And then usually for the phone number and all that stuff, I usually set it not to show. You can definitely use that if you want. Just a personal preference for me. I don't use the phone number or the additional question. But then we click save. And so now what you can do is you can actually just give out this link to people. So you could have it printed on a card or something like that. If you go right up here to the top. So now what I'm going to do is I've got that link copied to that gallery. I'm going to go in Chrome real quick and just show you what it looks like. So I'm going to go File, New Window right here. And then let me get this window over here so you guys can see it right here. So here's a new window right here. And I'm just going to paste that link in really quick, and it's going to take me to that visitor sign-in page, which is right here. Please enter your email address for registration. And then basically you would just enter your name. So I'm going to say Robert. And then for the email address, I'm just going to put a fake email address here so I can show you how it actually goes into the account and you collect that information. The cool thing about this is if you're at a sporting event and you haven't got the images yet, so you actually haven't created the gallery, but you can create that gallery before you get the images and make this gallery for the sporting event, because anytime somebody registers to it, it's going to tag that person's contact list or contact information with this gallery. So you can send an email, a mass marketing email or whatever, directly to the people who registered for just that particular gallery. So I'm just going to say demo@live.com. I apologize if that's actually somebody's real email address. Here we go. So we're going to hit continue. That's going to take them into the gallery. What you could do is upload an image that said something like thank you for registering or something like that. I'll email you when your images are available or something like that if you wanted to put an image like that in the gallery. Okay, so let me close that out really quick. And now if I hit refresh right here like this, and we go up to communications right here and go to contact list, what we can do is you can actually sort this. So let me sort this by, I don't remember what gallery that was. I think it was either that one or that one right there. You can actually sort this. So there it is right there. So I sorted this by that gallery, and now I'm only seeing people whose contact information who signed into that gallery. And then from here, that's where you can go and click this and send them out an email. Or you can actually do the same thing from a gallery invite once you've got the photos uploaded into the gallery if you want. All right, let me get back to my dashboard really quick right here. And then we've actually got a question in chat. So Sharks is on. Good to see you again, Sharks. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Always glad to have you here hanging out with us on Zenfolio Live. He says, can you go over custom templates? I'm about to start my first one, and I need a quick overview of how the designing works. I'm trying to create magnet design for a sports team. Can you show me how to on the designing of these, please? So if you're trying to create like a custom design template for magnets and stuff like that, I think this is a feature that's only available to those who have an advanced account. But yeah, I can kind of show you how to go over the design of that and stuff like that. So let me just get right here to the section. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to selling right here, And then down on the bottom, let me get my head out of the way here. Down on the bottom is a thing called template designs, and you can just click on that right here. Now what you want to do is you can sort it out by products. So I'm not sure if there's magnets here or not. Let's see. No. Where's it at? You can sort it out by products here. So let me just go create new. And then actually, let's go here. So first you need to go, sorry, that was my bad. First you need to go to create new, and then you can sort it out by products. So if I go all products right here, you have to go down through this list and find the magnets there. If I can find them here. Right here they are, magnets. And then you can choose the template that you want to use. So if you want to use like this 3 by 4.5, you can click right here. And then choose it whether you want it to be a landscape or portrait orientated. So in this case, I'm going to do, I think you said sports teams. So if it was teams, it would definitely be a landscape orientated thing. All right, so first what you can do is if you've got a background design made up that you want to upload, you can click right here and say upload background design. Now if you're going to do that, you probably want to save it as a transparent PNG, and then it's going to tell you right here as well what this the size and stuff that this needs to be. So then after you've got that created in Photoshop and exported as a transparent PNG, you want to just go ahead and choose that file here and upload it, and that's going to show up right there. And then from there you can add your text placeholders or your photo placeholders as well. So you can go add text placeholder right here, and what that's going to do is that's going to allow a space to where your clients can go in and add text and things like that. You can even choose what font you want it to be. Let's choose something a little bit different here. You can choose the size, and you can also move this thing around as well. And then probably what you're going to want to do too is on this front here, the magnets, you're just going to want to add that photo placeholder right here. And let me get this thing dragged up here and resized. So let me get that thing resized here. And then what I did, if you'll notice, is I put that photo placeholder over the top of my text design. So that means that the photo is going to print on that magnet over the top. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you come down here to placeholders, and just like in Photoshop, you want to make sure that the layers are layered correctly. So we need to drag that photo placeholder underneath that text right there so that that text will now appear up there on top. So after that, you can come in here and give these custom names if you want. So if you want to call it something else, like instead of photo label, photo 1, you could call it like, team photo right here. And then I think you can do the same thing with a text as well. So now you can do the text label right here, and you could say something like team name and hit OK. All right, so after you've got that done, what you need to do is click next. And then you're going to give this a display name. So I'm just going to call this Sharks Magnet right here. You can give it a description if you want. Now the important part is that we remember what design group we put this in. So I'm not sure if there's there we go. There's a sports right here. You can go down and choose sports. And let's just see. Let's do sports baseball right here. All right, so we've got that there, and that's the 4.5 by 3 magnet, and it's in the sports and baseball design group. And what we're going to do then is we are just going to come up here to the top, and we're going to save this. And then the last thing you're going to want to do is actually go ahead and publish that. So there's Sharks Magnet right there. I'm going to click Publish for Sale, and then the final step is to actually go and add this to a price list. So we're going to go Selling right here. Go to price list, and then let me just choose a price list really quick right here. And then I remember that that product is specifically for MPix Pro, so when I click add products, we need to make sure we switch over to MPix Pro right here, and then we're going to go photo gifts, and then what is it, other gifts? Is it under other gifts? Magnets right here. So other gifts, magnets, and it's the 3 by 4.5. Is that what it was? I think that's what it was. Anyway, we're going to add that, That's going to appear under photo gifs, and then you can go to magnet right here, and there's that magnet. Is that it? There's the magnet right there. All right. So anyway, Sharks, I hope that answers your question and helps you out with the magnets. If you have any more questions, please feel free to just ask in the chat. I didn't save my price list. You want to remember to save your price list. That way that magnet's available to your clients. Okay, let's see. What other email questions do I got over here? So the next question I've got is, I think this is another one from the, so this is another one from the tutorial request link that I have on here. This one says, a client of mine has a WordPress website and a Zenfolio account. I noticed that I can create slideshows of her photo galleries. However, the slideshow I'd like to create is not compatible with the width and height setting of Zenfolio. That is, the images do not fit the width and height of the slideshow box once I go over a certain size. Is it possible to customize these slideshow to the specifics I want? So without knowing the WordPress site and without knowing exactly what you're trying to do, this is going to be a little bit difficult to answer. But one of the things that you can do with Zenfolio is you can actually create embeddable slideshows, and you've got a little bit of control over the size of the slideshow there. So this is really cool if you're trying to create a custom page for something, and maybe you want to throw up some images on there. I'm not really sure my screen's bouncing around. It's getting a little bounce happy there. But anyways, like I said, you can create an embeddable slideshow, and you can throw it on a custom page, and you can actually control the size of that. So let me show you how to do that really quick. If I go to Photos right here, and then I come down to, let's just do a slideshow of this homepage slideshow gallery right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on that, and then I'm going to come down here to sharing and client access, and we're going to go create an embeddable slideshow. That's going to take us here, and then we've got some options here we can do. So first, we got that gallery selected. If you want to have a soundtrack, you can. Now this is where you can control those sizes. So here's dimensions right here. So you can click on here, and you can choose any one of these, or you can choose custom if you want as well. So if we want it to be a small slideshow, we can set that up like that right there. Then we just go to playback options. You can choose the delay, the transition. You can have it start automatically, loop it, play it in a random order. And then for the controls, we can click on the controls here. I like, when I make embeddable slideshows, I like to make them very clean, not a lot of stuff overlaying on them and things like that. So usually I set all this stuff to hide here. You can also show an opening and closing screen. Wow. An opening and closing slide if you want to show that. I'm just going to close that all right there. And I don't want to have any of that on there. And then we're going to go slideshow window. And usually I like to make the background transparent. No border usually is what I like to do. And then you can change this to whatever progress bar you want. And you can also choose a custom loading color. So let me just make this blue. Hit select. And then the next, you're just going to go down here and create that slideshow. And it's going to create that slideshow right here for you. You can kind of take a look at it. And then this is where you can get the code. So we can go right here, copy that code. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to go back up. I'm going to go back to my dashboard. Sorry. Go back to the dashboard here. There we go. Back to the dashboard. And then we're going to go websites and custom pages. And then I cleaned up quite a bit of my custom pages since last time when I had like 30 of them in here from all the different things that I do. But we're just going to do this right here really quick. Title, slideshow 2. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click source right here. You can do it this one of two ways. You can click embed if you want. And since this is such a small slideshow, the embed option will probably work just fine. So I'm going to do that, hit preview. It's going to show this out here in the middle. You can do some layout things here if you want. So I'm going to set no border, and I want to align this in the center. So in this case, since this is such a small, since this is such a small slideshow, like I said, the embed option should work just fine. But in most cases, when I'm embedding stuff into custom pages, normally what I do is I go source, and then I will come down here and paste that embed code in the source, come back up, and then you can see right here it's embedded that in there, and then I can just move this to the center like that. And the last thing you can do is come down here and hit save and preview. That's going to open up this page for you. You can take a look and see how it looks. Here's a slideshow here. And you can see right there it's showing random images and it's small. So like I said, again, without knowing the specific page that you're working with and without being able to see the images and stuff like that, I'm not really sure what's going on with why you can't size the images the way you want. But if you use the Zenfolio Embeddable slideshow option, you have some control over those dimensions there. So anyway, I hope that helps. Let me get back to my dashboard here. All right, so Shark says, thank you, Robert. Is this being recorded? Yes, it is. So this will be available on our YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to it, please click on the orange Z in the bottom right corner and subscribe to it. That way you get notifications when we go live, and also whenever we release new tutorials, you'll get a notification as well. So tomorrow coming out is a new tutorial on how to change your homepage. So if you have an existing website, or maybe you want to create a custom homepage and custom pages, the video tutorial that's coming out tomorrow is going to show you how to do that, how to set that up in your Zenfolio account. And not only do that, but it's going to show you how you can still access Customize View when you're not using the built-in Zenfolio homepage. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe so you get those notifications. Let's see. Laura says Zenfolio rules. Hey, Laura, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for the nice compliment. It's good to see you here. I'm getting all tongue-tied for some reason. Okay. So guys, we've got probably about 20 minutes left. So if you've got questions, make sure to throw that out in the chat so I can get those answered for you. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going over these email questions. And again, for those of you guys who are watching the recorded version of this because you're not able to catch the live stream, there's a link in the description called questions for next week's live Q&A. So if you're watching this and you come up with a question that you'd like for me to answer live next week, just make sure to use that link and submit that question. All right, so let me get to this next question here. Okay, so next question is, my client cannot access their gallery and neither can anyone else in her office. So I know that it's not just her computer or her browser. I'm able to access the gallery just fine on my computer. Is there any idea of what is going on? So again, that's a really specific case, and I would probably have to get like a gallery link and stuff like that. But right off the bat, one of the words that caught my attention in that question was you said in her office. So a lot of times when people are accessing Zenfolio sites from an office, and it's not just Zenfolio sites, I've had this happen to me in my office as well. When you're accessing different sites in an office, a lot of times offices will have firewalls in place to protect their network and stuff like that. And so when you said office, it could be that the office firewall, for whatever reason, is blocking the Zenfolio sites or something like that. And that's why she's not able to access it and nobody else is able to access it in her office as well. So what they should do is probably talk to their network IT guy and talk to him about it and see if they can make an exception on the firewall for Zenfolio sites to be accessed. Another thing they could definitely do too as well is just to try it on a network that's outside of the office. To go any further troubleshooting that issue, I'd have to see the specific gallery link and test it out that way. But that's definitely where I would start, is looking at that office firewall and see if that could be running some interference as well. All right, let me take a question from the chat really quick. So Sharks says, I have a gallery of photos that I want to show in my site menu. Can I add the site menu named, can I add a site menu item named Minnesota Wild? How do I add that? So let me see if I can't copy that text right out of the chat, because I'm never going to be able to spell that on my own, as sad as that is. So let me copy that text, and I'm going to show you how to do that. All right. So I got that text copied. We'll switch over to main with no chat right here, and let's go to customize view, and I'll show you how to add that site menu item. So what we're going to do is hover over my Zenfolio right here, go to customize website, and then you just need to go right here. And again, this page looks like a hot mess. It's just a demo page, and I continue to do crazy stuff to it just to show you guys how to do things. So hopefully your site looks a lot better than what you're seeing right now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go right here, add new menu item, and then you can just type that text right here, Minnesota Wild, or paste it like I did because I never would have been able to spell that right. And then hit enter. And then if it's just the gallery, you just want to make sure that you have group, gallery, or collection selected right here. Go down here and find that Minnesota Wild gallery. In this case, I'm just going to pretend like that's it. Hit select and then hit update. And then this is going to refresh, and then you should be seeing that up here. So you can see that right here. Now you guys can see one of the things that you want to try to avoid with the site menu, and I'm getting pretty close there, is having too many site menu items on here. Because what can happen is when somebody views this on a tablet or something like that, there's only so much space for stuff to show on here. And some of these site menu items could kind of drop off to the side. So that's why I would really encourage you to use drop-down menus. So if you've already got a drop-down menu created, like portfolio right here, you could drag and drop, like I said earlier, you could drag and drop these into that little drop-down right there. And that's going to save some room on your site menu. Here. So that totally doesn't make any sense that I just dragged the portfolio site menu item into portfolio, but I just wanted to show you that you could do that. So that's how you would do that right there. Then you would just reload it, and the drop down menus are a really good way to save you some room. So as you can see, just dropping a couple of items in that site menu drop down menu, I keep calling it site menu, and that drop down menu will give me a lot more room on my site menu up here. So that's how you could add that there. And then if I just go like portfolio right here, you can see right there it says Minnesota Wild. And I hear in Minnesota in the winter time that you can walk around and see frozen standing pants just randomly around. So that would be pretty cool to see a gallery of that. I hear in the winter it gets pretty crazy in Minnesota. All right, let me get back to my dashboard really quick, and let's take another email question here. All right, so I am trying to move some photos from one gallery to another, but I keep getting an internal server errors. I've cleared my cache, but it's still happening. Is this something on your end? So again, what it sounds like what you're trying to do is move some photos from one gallery to another, and you're getting an error that says internal server error. You've already cleared your cache, but it's still happening. So what's probably going on is that you're probably reaching the max limit for the amount of photos that you can move at one time. I don't happen to know the exact number, but I know earlier this week there was a case similar to this where somebody was trying to move like 3,000 photos, and basically what they had to do is they had to go and move, I think I helped them move like 800 at a time over. So if you go to photos right here, and let's just say you want to move some photos from one gallery to another. So let me find a gallery I can do that with really quick. I don't know if I've got, let's see, we can just do the landscape one really quick. So if you go here and maybe you want to move all of these photos, Laura says frozen pants, frozen shirts, and frozen lattes. Wow, that's crazy. That'd be interesting. But all right, so anyway, if you want to move these photos from one gallery to another, you can come down here to the very bottom. If there's not a whole bunch, and you can select all, and then you can go up to the top, and there should be a move button under photo actions right here. So if you go to photo actions, you can hit move, and then you can select a gallery there and move it. Now, if you're seeing internal server error, probably what's happening is you've probably got quite a few photos selected. So if you look up here on the top right, you can see that I've got 35 photos selected, and that will be able to move to another gallery with no problem. If you look up there and you see that you've got over 1,000 photos selected, you might want to just try starting out with maybe 500 or 600 photos at a time. And the easiest way to do that is to just do like this. Click on a photo here. You can see right here the sequence number will tell you what number that photo is in the gallery. And you can scroll down until you come to maybe about 500 or 600 or whatever. And you see that there. If you hold shift, you can just click on that photo and it will select that entire array of photos. So it'll start from the first one that you selected. And if you hold shift, you can go down and then select that bottom one and it will select all of the photos in between. And then try going up to photo actions and moving that way. And hopefully that will work and you won't see any more internal server errors. Definitely, if you do, please shoot us an email at customer support so that we can take a look at that. And if you do shoot us that email, make sure that you send in the gallery information. It'd be a good idea to send the gallery link if you can. So if you can go down to like sharing and client access. Sorry, if you go down to sharing and client access for that gallery, when you're emailing us, send us the link to that gallery. And then also another thing that's going to be super helpful and make things more efficient as far as us being able to troubleshoot this for you is if you also just kind of let us know where to find that gallery in your account. So if you know that gallery is hidden or buried in a couple of groups, just let us know, hey, it's under my portfolio group and then it's under the landscape group. The name of the gallery is, landscapes 2015 or something like that. Any kind of information like that to help us find a gallery is just going to allow us to be more efficient when we're troubleshooting issues for you and things like that. Also, if you see specific errors, like you said, you're seeing an internal server error, take a screenshot of that and send it along as well, because that's going to be, again, that's just going to help us help you more efficiently. All right, let me get back to my dashboard here really quick. And let's go and take another question from the email questions. We got about 10 more minutes left, guys. So if you've got any questions in the chat, or if you just want to keep talking about Frozen Pants and the Minnesota Wild playing today at 8 p.m., please feel free to continue doing that as well. But I'm going to take another email question really quick. So let's see. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. The next question I've got says, is there a way to pull a sales report for just a specific gallery? Yeah, so you can actually do this in your sales report. If you just go to, let me get there really quick. If you go to selling right here, and then you can click on reports and payouts, go to sales report, you can actually pull a sales report for just a particular gallery. So if you want to see how much money you made on a specific event or gallery or something that you recently shot, one of the things you want to make sure that the dates up here are going to be right for what you're looking up. So if this was a recent gallery, you'd want to change this from being last year to being this year. If it was a gallery or a group or something that you shot last year, you just need to come up here and change it just so that that report is accurate. And then what you can do is you can actually go right here and hit select, come down and find that gallery, hit select, and then that sales report that you're going to see is only going to reflect the sales for that particular gallery. And that way you don't have to try to break everything down and figure out what you made where. This will actually let you do that just by selecting the gallery there. So anyway, I hope that answers your question about doing the sales reports. If you got any more specific questions, please just definitely feel free to email us and we can go more into detail on that. Excuse me. All right, my next question says, I'm scared to change presets. I see a message that says applying a preset will change all page themes and layouts. All pages, galleries, and excuse me, all pages, galleries, and groups will be set to use defaults. What does this mean? Is there any better way to change up the look of my site? So it sounds like what you're doing is that you are in customize view right here. So let me get there really quick. It sounds like you're in customize view and you're trying to change up your website a little bit. And maybe what you did is you went down here and you hit site presets and you've got your galleries looking exactly the way that you want them to look, but you're not too happy with your homepage. But when you go here and you change the preset, and you click apply, you see this message that says it will change all pages, themes, and layouts, all galleries and all that stuff will be set to use defaults. So exactly what that means is this. If you change your website using a site preset, it is going to change everything about your website. Now, any custom pages and stuff like that you've made, any images that you've uploaded will all still be intact. You won't lose any information. It's just going to change the visual appearance of every page in your website. So if you're just wanting to customize the home page and not change your entire site, you don't have to use a site preset. What you can do is you can actually just change the layout and the themes, because that's all that these really are, is a combination of a layout and a theme. So what you can do is come up here to the top and you can click on layout, and you can come down here and you can try out a different layout. And this is only going to affect your home page. It won't change anything about your galleries. It won't change the way your galleries look. And changing the layout is actually not even going to change the colors that are used on your website. So if we wanted to try a different layout, maybe we wanted to check out a sidebar layout right here like this, you could go there and apply that. And that's going to change just the composition of your website. So there's that sidebar right here. But you can see the colors up here are still pretty much the same. And if you want to change the colors, what you can do is you can just go up here to themes and you can try out a different theme. So there's all kinds of themes in here that you can use. You can even go to more and create a custom theme that you want. And again, this is only going to affect your home page. So again, so don't use the site preset if you have your galleries and all that stuff set up and looking exactly the way you want. You just want to change the layout and the themes of your home page. All right, let me get back to my dashboard really quick. And I've probably got time for one last question, and then we're going to have to take off for the day. So let's see. All right, so this next question, email question I've got here says, what is the purpose of setting up order approval? Why not just send the order straight through to the lab to save time? So that's a good question, and there's a lot of different ways to look at order approval. The way that I look at order approval is because I'm a low volume photographer, so I don't do huge events and stuff like that. I do a lot of portrait sessions where I spend a lot of time with the images and things like that. And I don't just have crazy amounts of orders coming through of 4x6s, 8x10s, or whatever. So for me, what I like about order approval is order approval. And if you're not familiar with what it is, you can turn it on by going to selling and price lists right here. And then if you click on a price list, you can actually turn order approval on or off for each individual price list. So if you've got a price list that you've built for like an event where there's going to be tons of orders and there's just no possible way that you could ever, or maybe you just don't want to have to review each order, you can turn it off for a specific price list if you want. But you click on price list settings and it's right here. So with it turned on, and it's usually turned on by default, what that means is you've got a little bit of a safety buffer to where if the client enters a wrong shipping address, enters a wrong email address, maybe they order the wrong photo, the wrong size, or maybe they decide after they place the order that they want to add something else to it, and they send you an email. If you have order approval on, and maybe, and what I like to tell my clients is, I will tell my clients this, I will say, whenever you place an order, it will take me 3 days to approve the order. Within those 3 days, if you change your mind about something or something like that, you can contact me and we can see what can be done. But that way it just sets the expectation so that they know that that order is going to be waiting for approval for 3 days. And that way I'm not constantly trying to rush and make sure that everything's set up and ready to go. And I can get to it when I get a chance to get to it because I've already explained that to them. But like I said, so with order approval turned on, it gives you a little bit of a safety buffer where if they put in a wrong address or a wrong email address, or maybe they want to add more products to the order, you're going to have time to do that. Now, depending on what level of account you have, some of those things you might have to email into Zenfolio customer support and be like, hey, can you cancel this order because my client wants to order something different. If you want to be able to do that yourself, just upgrade to the advanced account and you can actually go in and cancel orders if you have order approval turned on. You can add products to the order and things like that. So that is my take on order approval and why I have it turned on and I use it. Like I said, if they might maybe they make a mistake in the cropping, or maybe they chose a color conversion and set an image to be black and white and then change their mind. It's just going to give you that little bit of a safety buffer to where you can catch that order before it's actually printing, and then we could do something about it. And so that's my take on order approval and why I would suggest using it if it's not going to be a lot of extra work for you. All right, guys, we are out of time today, so I want to just say thank you to everybody who came and hung out with us. It's good to see Sharks with us, as always, and also want to say thanks to Laura for coming in and hanging out. Again, if you're watching the recording of this and you come up with a question, there's a link there that you can send a question to me. Just use that link that says question for next week's live Q&A. And hope everybody had a great week. Hope everybody has a good weekend, and see you guys here next week, same time, same place. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not, and look out for that video tutorial that's coming out tomorrow. All right, have a good one, everybody.